Hello students, today we are going to learn consumer decision making process and this topic is taken from Consumer Behavior SYBMS semester 3. Before moving ahead, let us understand the meaning of consumer. Who is a consumer? A consumer is a person who consumes the goods or avails the services. So, any individual who purchases the goods and services from the market for his own consumption is known as a consumer. So, in simple words, we can say that a consumer is the one who consumes goods and services which are available in the market. Now, let us understand the consumer decision making process, that how a consumer comes to a decision that he have to purchase a particular product or avail a particular service. So the consumer decision making process is divided into 5 steps. So the first step is need recognition. The second step is information search. The third step is evaluation of alternatives. The fourth one is purchase decision. And the fifth one is post purchase evaluation. Now let us understand all these steps in detail. So the first step in the consumer decision making process is the need identification or the identification of the problem. In this picture, can you see a boy? He is very thirsty and he needs to drink water. So here you can see that this boy is in immense need to drink water because he is thirsty. So now he is recognizing the need that he is in need to drink water. So recognizing the need is the first and the most important step in the consumer decision making process. So in this step, what the buyer does, in this step the buyer understands that he has a need of a particular product, and when he feels that he has a need of a particular product, he buys that product, consumes that product, and then the buyer is satisfied. So in our example, this boy is thirsty, he wants to drink water, and if this boy purchases the water, drinks the water, then his need is satisfied. The need may arise internally within the consumer, or it may take place because of an external factor. See, now this boy is thirsty and he wants to drink water. So thirst is an internal need. If this boy is hungry and he wants to eat food, so hunger is an internal need. Likewise, what are external factors? External factors are those factors which are outside a consumer. For example, a consumer is walking by the road, he sees some advertisement of a product and then he feels like purchasing that product. Now there, advertisement is an external factor which is making the consumer to buy a product or making the consumer to develop a need for that product. Next is attractive packaging or display. If a consumer sees a product which have very attractive packaging, so the consumer may feel that he should buy that product. So the need may be internal need which can come from within the consumer, or it can be an external need which comes from the factors in the environment. Let's take an example that an individual may recognize the need to purchase shoes because he wants to use the shoes for his office. So as an individual wants to go to the office, he wants to wear shoes to the office, that is why he is purchasing the shoes. So the need is there, and that is why the consumer is making the purchase decision. The next step here is information search. In this step, the consumer tries to gather the information about a product which he wants to purchase. Let's take an example. Now we all know that water is very important for our livelihood, and not only water but water in its pure form is very important for our livelihood. So if I take an example that I need to purchase a water purifier, so before purchasing the water purifier, what I'll do is I'll gather all the information relating to what all are the purifiers which are available in the market, what are the various models, what are their benefits, what are their costs, the warranty, the guarantee, and the information relating to the water purifier. So you will try to find out all the possible information, and from where you can find the information, from your personal sources, that is your family, your friends, your neighbors, some of the reference groups, etc. Or you may also go through some commercial sources, like you may go through some advertisements, you can ask some salesperson, you can call some dealers, get the information from them. You can just go to some showroom, you can see the packaging of a product, read the instructions or the details of that product on that. So this is how you may gather the information from the commercial sources. Next is the public sources, where a consumer gets information through the mass media or through the consumer rating agencies. Uh, Next is from experiential sources or products, or the consumer may go for demonstration before purchasing the water purifier. That is how he may examine the product, that whether the water purifier gives you the purest form of water. So the second step here is information search, where the consumer try to find out the information about a particular product from various sources. After gathering the information which is available in the market regarding various water purifiers, now you will evaluate the various alternatives which are available in the market. For example, you come to know that there are three types of water purifiers available in the market, or there are three types of companies which supply water purifiers. Firstly, there is Eureka Forbes, there is Aquaguard, there is Kent. So then you will evaluate all the alternatives. You will try to understand that what all are the products which are provided by these three companies, what is their quality, durability, what is the credibility of the brand, what are the after sales services which are provided by all these three companies. And you will just evaluate all the alternatives on the basis of the information which is there with you. And when you get all the information, then you try to understand which one is the best, which one gives you the best quality of service, which one is the best quality product at a reasonable price, and which company gives you a good warranty or the guarantee. So all these things you try to understand, and then you make the purchase decision. So once the consumer decides about the brand which is appropriate for him, he purchases the same. If a consumer feels that Kent purifier is very good, he should purchase the Kent purifier, then he will make the purchase decision to purchase Kent. So while purchasing the product, he takes into account the following information, like who is the seller, what is the location of the store, from which store he is going to purchase, at what time he is going to purchase, which color of purifier he will like, how should be the packaging, what should be the size of the product, then what is the warranty, guarantee, where will the delivery will given to you, what will be the mode of payment, can you make the payment in cash or by check or by credit card, will you be able to make the payment in installments, can the product be purchased on hire purchase method, what will be the installation charges, who will come for installation. So all these things are to be taken into consideration when you are making a purchase decision. And after you finalize all these things, you do the actual purchase. Next is post purchase behavior. Now, what is post purchase behavior? After buying the product, the consumer evaluates the actual performance of the product. When the consumer actually uses the water purifier, he gets the experience. Then he may feel that was the experience satisfying, was the experience dissatisfying, have the product fulfilled the uh, need of the consumer. So this feeling makes him to decide whether he should repeat the purchase, whether he should recommend the product to others. So if a consumer is very much satisfied with the product, then what he will do, he will definitely make the repeated purchase of that product, or he may suggest the product to his friends, relatives, or the other people around him. So three things can happen. A consumer can either be satisfied by the product, or the consumer may be dissatisfied by the product, or he may just remain neutral. So let's take the first situation where the consumer is satisfied after purchasing the product. So if the consumer is satisfied after purchasing the product, he may appreciate the product and he may purchase the product in the near future, or he may recommend the product to other people as well. So when the performance of the product surpasses his expectations, he develop very positive experiences or relating to that product. So next is, the consumer may have neutral feelings about a product. That means he may not neither be satisfied nor be dissatisfied. He is just he have purchased a product, a one time purchase, and he do not have a specific liking or disliking about that product. There is where a consumer remains neutral about a product. The third case is when the consumer is dissatisfied after purchasing the product. So in this case, the consumer is not satisfied with the product and its performance. So he maybe the performance has not met his expectations. Secondly, this might happen that he may not recommend the product to anyone else. In a case of high value product, consumer is very dissatisfied and try to return the product as far as possible. So many times it happens that a consumer has paid a lot of cost to that product, and if he dislike the product, then the consumer may tend to return the product. So the post purchase experience of a consumer is most important for all the future purchase decisions. So based on the post purchase experience only, the consumer decide whether to purchase the product in the near future, whether to recommend the product to someone else. So the consumer should have a good post purchase experience so that he may repeat purchase the product, or he may recommend the product to someone else. Let's just sum up what we learned in this session. So we learned that who is a consumer. So a consumer is an individual who buys the product or a service, or who uses the product or a service. A consumer is someone who buys the product or the service for his personal consumption. Moving ahead, we also learned the consumer decision making process, and we saw that the consumer decision making process is divided into 5 steps. The first step is identifying the problem or the need recognition. The second step is collecting information, that is, we can say information search. Third is evaluation of alternatives. The fourth one is purchase decision, and the fifth one is the post purchase behavior. That's all. Thank you.